as you can see, most states losing seats tend to be blue, while most states gaining those seats tend to be red. Well, will this actually change the makeup of Congress? We'll bring in political analyst Bobby Eberle and Jan Ronis now to discuss. Bobby, welcome to the show. If the states are in charge of redistricting, aren't the blue states just going to take red seats away through gerrymandering?
Well, yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the state legislatures. That's what a lot of people need to realize, is that in most states in the country, when we have this new census and we're talking about redrawing lines based on population changes, now you're looking at the state legislatures. And we've got, on the Republican side, we've got Republicans controlling Texas, Florida, North Carolina, some of those that you pointed out that are getting the gains. I think, actually, to your question, this will make a difference. I mean, it's razor thin right now. I think after 2022 elections, you're going to see a new Speaker of the House on the Republican side.
And Jan, I want to ask you about this. The whole notion of what Bobby was saying, that it's these state legislatures. Are we now at a point, or why are we now not at a point, is a better way to put it, where we have a better way of deciding redistricting in this country? I mean, gerrymandering has been going on for centuries now, believe it or not, and it just seems like there's got to be a way to correct it.
Right. The correction, I don't know exactly what the correction is. I do know that partisan gerrymandering has really kind of destroyed democracy in this country. Because really,
yeah, Jan, if you could fix your mic for me, because I'm not hearing you as well. There was some great sound for a moment, but I'm going to put that to you can say hi again if you'd like. See if okay, there you go. It's Jan.
Oh, this is better. I think what happened is a jet flew over, because I live near a Navy base. I apologize. So I think what I was about to say is that really partisan gerrymandering has really not destroyed, but really affected democracy in this country, because what's happened, you don't have any centralized voting block in every state. In other words, the Democrats have gerrymandered all the Republicans out, the Republicans have gerrymandered all the Democrats out. So you just got this partisanship on each side, and there really isn't, a consensus between the two parties, which I think would create a more, centralized, uniform democratic process in this country. It's just the partisanship has been gerrymandered to the extent that it's really skewed the political process. Yeah, so what the solution is, I don't know, but I certainly know what the effect is.
Yeah, there's certain states that have put together panels that have tried to be bipartisan to decide how to go about this. And again, it just seems like it's something they've visited for quite a while. Jan, you're in California. I want to stay in your state with you for just a moment. State officials yesterday confirming that there are, in fact, enough signatures to trigger a recall vote for Gavin Newsom. And now we have a growing number of Republicans who are deciding to run. Of course, we talked about it here on the Donlin Report yesterday. Caitlyn Jenner running today. Actor Randy Quaid, who played Cousin Eddie from the National Lampoon franchise, he tweeted that he is even considering a run. I want to ask you, Jen, is this sort of circus that we're going to be witnessing over the next several months going to result in a new governor, or do you think this is something that right now that Gavin Newsom has positioned himself once again to be a strong governor in a very, very blue state?
To some extent, I'm out of the prediction business, but Gavin Newsom really does enjoy a lot of popularity.
Jan, well, unfortunately, we're having this problem with your mic. I'm going to ask Bobby that question, and I want to come back to you, Bobby. Watching from where you are, and you follow Republican politics, and I remember in 2003 when Gray Davis, the Democratic governor of California, was recalled, and Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor. This feels a little different. Does it feel a little different to you as well?
Yes, it does. I mean, with Gray Davis, obviously you had just, very poor approval ratings. Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously mega star, who was involved in politics. He was involved in the political scene. So he had some weight behind him, not just as the actor, the Hollywood superstar, but as that political activist. Here, though, what's interesting is just the negative reaction that Newsom is getting across the board. I mean, to get nearly 1.5 million signatures and to have states, everything that he's doing, when you showed the map of the Electoral College, it was almost a microcosm of what's going on with COVID. The states that continue the lockdowns are the states that have lost seats. He continues the lockdowns. He pushes policies that push out churches, that go and doesn't follow his own COVID rules. Many things have stood out that really just brought people's attention to the fact that, in addition to that, we've got taxes that are out of control. People are leaving. This is the first time in history, by the way, that California has lost a congressional seat, that they didn't gain. That is very, very significant. And it sends a message that whether it's Newsom or some other Democrat governor, the way things are running in the state is not the right direction. Newsom is bearing the brunt of that, mostly because of his own policies on top of it. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if we have a credible contender. But if we do, I really do think it can change hands.
And Jan, I welcome back. I want to know, though, what happens if a Democrat runs, as will certainly happen. I don't know how prominent a Democrat, but if a Democrat runs on that recall ballot, just to let people know, you vote for the recall, whether or not you want to recall the governor or not, and you also vote for the person you would like to replace the governor if the governor is recalled. Is there any danger for Democrats there?
Well, I hope my mic is working. Listen, the more candidates they have, the more it dilutes a vote, and it probably makes it more difficult for Newsom to win. Like I was saying earlier, he's a popular person in California.
Jan, I'm so sorry because I really want to hear the view from the coast, but we're having these audio problems, and I apologize that. So, Bobby, let's just take it to you quickly before we go. Caitlyn Jenner, Randy Quaid. Who's the next governor of California?
You know, it's a toss. And I like that you pointed out to the viewers this process. You know, it's not like determining is Newsom going to go and then we have a campaign. These people have to make it known now because it's all on the same ballot. As soon as they decide on that ballot that Newsom is gone, boom, you've got a winner. And I believe there's no runoff. It's whoever's on the top of that ballot. So it could be anybody. And your point about a Democrat, so far, a prominent Democrat or any Democrat hasn't jumped in yet. If they do, that will be interesting to see if the Democrat political machine will bail on Newsom just to salvage the state for a Democrat rather than letting it fall into Republican hands for the remainder of the term.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, but Bobby Eberle, always the savvy strategist, not saying whether Jenner or Quaid will be the next governor. Bobby Eberle, thank you. Jan Ronas, we apologize for the problems with the microphone, but hopefully you will come back soon. Thank you both for joining us.
Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.